Welcome to Blabbering, a week-by-week glimpse into a couple stumbling through life with a newborn.
I'm Tilly.
And I'm Dan.
Each week over dinner,
You'll learn Tilly is quite the feeder.
We'll discuss the realities of raising our baby, talking through the highs, lows and honest confessions of this thing called parenting.
Parenting won't be easy, but let's at least laugh about it. This is Blabbering.
Coming up this week, with the podcast being 4 weeks behind, we discuss baby's first Christmas outings, such as going to pantos, also how to navigate post-newborn friendships, as well as a health scare that resulted in a doctor's visit.
This is week 9.
Nine.
No.
Have we moved on to the months yet? Can we stop tracking weeks and do months?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people do that post 12, don't they? Like we keep doing it. Well, we can always do weeks because we're doing this weekly. We would if we were like, she is 2 months and a quarter. We can do that if you want. 2.25 months. Do you like that?
No.
Yeah?
No.
Probably 9 weeks then. So today we're actually recording with our breakfast. So I've not made a snazzy meal. What have you got, darling? Explain how we do breakfast in this house with your really full mouth.
Okay, so I have something called weekend breakfast, which is basically whereby I just eat kids' cereal for breakfast at the weekend.
Yeah, I don't let them have it all the way through the week, which makes you like a really controlling wife.
No, I know I agree with the principle. I just wouldn't have the discipline. So
Yeah, so during the week I make Dan healthy breakfasts, yogurt, porridge, birch muesli, that sort of stuff. Still tasty because you're lucky you've got a chef wifey. But then on the weekends, you're allowed to have, your super sugary kiddie cereal. Although, what's going to be our rules on this once it comes to weaning? Because we want to have Moonbeam not having sugar for the first few years. So how are we going to manage that?
I think it'll just have to go and be replaced with like granola and dried fruit. I don't really mind because you're happy with there being a lot of fructose-based stuff, like pure fruit sugar.
Dan is definitely someone who gets hangry, aren't you, Bubs?
Yeah. So between the recording stuff not working earlier, it took me about an hour and a half to start this week with all the fucking hardware going wrong.
Yeah. So you've got a slightly grumpy Dan, which is fair enough. I'd be pissed off too.
But then also having not eaten for that period, now it's like fucking 12:15 and I haven't had breakfast. So I'm wolfing it down.
I've not had breakfast either, which is naughty because I'm making booby juice. Let me grab mine. So what cereal have you got today then, Bubs? You've got combi. You like a mixture, don't you?
Yeah, I like to find flavours that work together. So today I've got Lidl's, no Aldi's.
Aldi, went to Aldi. Went big, went Aldi.
Aldi's like Biscoff balls and their version of
Crunchy
nut clusters, yeah.
Nice.
So what have you got for breakfast?
So I've got something you would absolutely love.
It's got fucking tahini in, doesn't it?
It's got tahini. I'm an absolute pervert for tahini. Thankfully, tahini is one of those things that makes you produce more milk. So I've got an excuse to eat lots of tahini. And it's high in iron, and I'm always a little bit anemic. So all the reasons to shout tahini. And so I've got a mixture. I've got half skyr, so super high protein yogurt, a vanilla skyr, and half Greek yogurt. And then I've got a load of tahini on it. I've got some mixed seeds and some walnuts. So very different breakfasts. I don't really like a sweet breakfast. Sometimes, but not very often. Actually, although when you listen to this, it will be gone past Christmas. We're coming up to Christmas now. We're a week away from Christmas. Every year, Boxing Day, in my family, me and my mum and my sister, it's our tradition, we have to have pudding for breakfast on Boxing Day. It's not always like leftover Christmas pudding or Christmas cake or Yule log or whatever, but it's pudding for breakfast on Boxing Day. So that is a sweet breakfast that I have, but always with a coffee to balance it.
I'm just going to edit out mentions of Christmas because I'm just going to pretend that this isn't 4 weeks behind.
Why? There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's fair enough that we, in the first month of us having a newborn, we didn't post and pop us. We still recorded it, which I think is fairly impressive. But you don't have the capacity to edit and post it. I think that's all right.
Fine.
Yeah? We're all about being real on here, Bubs.
That's true.
How's week 9 been for you?
Yeah, week 9's been good. Work's been quite chill, so it's allowed me to spend a lot more time with baby. She's a lot more engaging, so it doesn't just feel like I've got an expensive cat. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's just like, keep me alive, I demand things. And you're like, oh, cool. Now it feels more like I've got a dog, where it's like, keep me alive, but I will also give you love back.
So we're progressing closer to human. That's good.
Yeah.
We'll let you know when we hit human territory.
But you can speak.
Oh, it's quite a while away.
Yeah. I told you. She's getting trained like a dog until she's about 2 anyway.
At least we're not going to use the clickers.
That's a reference to an earlier episode, if you haven't heard more.
Your dad wants clickers for, but we're saying no to clickers for dogs. For dogs, but for babies. How have I found this week? Nice. Done quite a few Christmassy things. Bub went to her first panto on Wednesday. My mum's a teacher at a college. And so me, mum, my pops, one of my sisters and one of her daughters went to panto. It was Cinderella. And Bubba was really well behaved. The audio there was like really hit and miss. At one time, one person would speak really quiet, one person would be like shrieking. So she had her little ear defenders on. She was a really good girl. She just had her little feed. She had a little look around. She loved the lights. I enjoyed the panto. I mean, I bloody love the panto. The shitter the better, quite frankly. But that was a nice time with the family. And then day after, me and Babs went to my niece Maisie's little Christmas sing-song at school with my sister, which is lovely. Always quite sweet to see, a bunch of little 5-year-olds just singing. Although some of the Christmas songs I don't know anymore. They're like modern Christmas songs, and I don't get them.
What are modern Christmas songs?
Well, I don't remember because I didn't know them, so it didn't stick in my head. Oh, we spilled yogurt on the rubber. But that's been nice. And we went to one of my favourite places, Costco. It was Bubba's first Costco trip, which she was a good girl. We enjoyed all the samples. Although lots of them I can't eat samples, so I get one because it's cake, and I know you want cake and you double samples.
Mm-hmm.
And went to Morrison's, another favourite shop of mine.
Though this week I opted out of Costco, didn't I? We went to go get the cake. I asked what it was as I picked it up. And they went, fruit cake. And then you picked it up and went, you can't eat it. And then you just turned to me and you went, I know, I was getting it for you. And so I then had that awkward moment where I just turned back and the person just smiled and walked off 2 samples of cake.
Obviously, they didn't give a shit. It was like, you got kids and you get free bus fare until they're about 5. And then you get a kid who's just turned 5 or whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, free bus fare. And they're like, no, I'm 5, which is exactly what I did to my mum. Oh. Okay.
No.
You always got to stop for a little bit of food when you go to Costco. Normally you get the big hot dog, don't you?
Yeah.
You went for the chicken bake, what it was called?
Chicken slice or something? Yeah, chicken
Well,
bake.
it wasn't a slice though, was it?
Yeah, I think it was a chicken bake, you're right.
It's a cylinder. But I guess it doesn't sound very sexy to call it chicken cylinder, does it?
Processed chicken bacon cylinder.
Get in my belly. You can do that, and I got my standard jacket potato with tuna mayo and beans, which I know can be a controversial mix. Some people get tuna and beans. I think it's a great combo.
How much was it for your jacket potato?
$2.99.
£3. And the amount of contents in there.
It's a huge potato, and then you get absolutely loads of topping. I've never managed to finish one. Even on my hungriest pregnancy days, I couldn't finish one. So you always finish it for me, don't you?
Or I give Papa the tuna mayo because he fucking loses the mind for the.
He is an absolute perv for tuna mayo.
For the Costco tuna mayo. I don't know what it is. I remember one day we brought that back.
And
we just put it on the table. And you just kept running, like one end of the table to the other end, with his head like along the edge of the table, just leaving drill marks the whole way.
We also went to Rhyme Time on Friday, but I went to her first Rhyme Time, which was really sweet. Got to sort of see some more mums and little things. Obviously, she's a bit too young to engage with it. I think she quite enjoys the stimulus. Lots of sort of like toys they throw around and little like jingle bell rattle things. Although I think sometimes the noise is a little bit too much for her. She does like it. And you started reading to her this week, haven't you? You've been doing some Aesop's Fables.
Yeah, I've been reading the Aesop's Fables to her. Quite sure that's going to be. Yeah, so I've decided that my thing's going to be trying to do story time with her. And so the thing that I want to do, stories that I read to her are the Aesop's Fables. Quite enjoy them. quite a good thing.
And they're quite short, which is good at the moment, isn't it?
They're almost a bit too short some of the time currently.
Yeah.
It's literally like you open it up and then what is it? It's only like two pictures. You read
2 pages for you, isn't it?
5 minutes, less than that. Stops.
So one of the things I wanted to discuss this week, because we've both talked to our friends about this, haven't we? From different friends, is that when you're having a baby, and I think particularly when you're sort of the first within your friendship group, your friends can often struggle with how to, I guess, connect and support you.
Yeah.
So it's not that they don't want to, but they've never been through it before. They don't know what you need and like what's going to be too much and what's going to be. And so a lot of my friends have been like, sorry, I've not been great. I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know if you want to be left alone or how to support you or what to do, really. And that's also what we really thought about, was it, before we had Bubba?
No.
Because I've got experience in the sense that we both have experience, because like I've got 2 sisters who've got 3 kids between them. So we've had experience supporting people our age with kids.
I do also feel like it's a combination of factors. Firstly, it's a very weird, stupidly British thing of being like, oh, I'm not going to ask them because that's an inconvenience.
Maybe, and also this is such a different experience to anything else they've had to go through with us in our friendship.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, you've already experienced that in the sense of like when you lost your dad,
Yeah.
people don't know how to react to that. To be often,
Yeah.
and so you've always said actually that's not what. So you kind of know from that experience that actually when people are going through new times, difficult times, whatever it is, it doesn't actually benefit them for you to stay away. It benefits them for you to know that you are there, and for them to know that whatever capacity they need you are there for them.
Well, it is incredibly isolating, I think, especially when you're the first and when you're, like I said, at the beginning, it can just feel like you've got this incredibly fragile cat that you're looking after. And so it's nice to at least have people who are looking out, even if they don't actually come around, or even if you say, no, I don't want to see you right now. It's nice to have people sort of send you messages and be like, I hope everything's going all right, as it were. It's like you say, it is a bit like grief in that everyone's going to deal with it differently. Everyone's going to want to be, different types of interaction, the level of interaction. I don't really believe that there's anyone out there that's unable to say no, as it were. I mean, maybe there are. But I feel like if you give somebody enough, if you give somebody enough of a back door in the way you ask the question, so that they don't have to be obliged about it. It's always nicer to have asked, and then accept that they might tell you, sorry, I really can't. I'm just too busy or I'm too hectic, or maybe they'll say like, in 2 weeks' time or whatever.
Yeah, I think people just, when it comes to having a baby, I think people worry very easily about overwhelming people because it is obviously such an overwhelming experience in general.
But I've actually been seeking for people to come around because it's just so monotonous. Otherwise, it's just literally like there's just such a list of stuff that needs to be done, and none of it's fun.
Yeah.
So when people come around, like, "Oh, good, I've got an excuse not to go do a poo pick, or go, do the dishwasher, or do a clothes wash, or these sorts of things." Because otherwise, it's literally like it does just feel a bit like, okay, what am I doing today? You just list off a load of
Admin,
and you're always behind. You try and do the same amount of admin before you have a baby. Now everything takes double the time. So when people do come around, it's like, oh, phew, can fuck off that job.
And also, we are sociable people. We enjoy having people over. Not like you have to host them massively. You might make them a cup of tea or give them a biscuit or something. But no one's expecting much.
And if you do think you are going to be in the way, because people say, oh, I don't want to be in the way. Don't just sit on my sofa, get up and do my dishwasher. People always say, it's like, do me a 15-minute job and I'll be incredibly grateful. If you just came around and was like, oh, look, Chief, I don't want to be in your way. I'll stay for an hour and I'll help you out by doing the job. You've got 15 minutes of my time. What is it? I could give people so many, single 15-minute jobs. There's
all my friends have asked that. I'm just not very good at accepting that. They're always like, what can I do? Can I run the Hoover around? And I'm like, no, it's fine. Because I feel bad, except I'm just not very good at accepting it. So we probably could have had a lot more things done for us. To a certain degree, I want to enjoy the time with them. I want them to sit and just keep me company and have a chat with me. I don't really want them to go clean my bathroom or whatever.
Fold laundry, a dishwasher, put a wash on, wax the bleach down the lab.
Yeah. But I think we know, I guess we're now better prepared for when our friends, because we've got friends who are expecting in February, and obviously they don't live near, but
No.
when we do go see them, we know it's helpful, I suppose.
Yeah.
So that, when we visit them, we'll be like, okay, why don't you go like for an hour or something, and we can look after the butts, or we can, or bring you a dinner, or
Yeah, that's the other thing. Food. Bring somebody some nice food.
well, that's what I did for my siblings, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So every time my sisters had kids, when I go see them for the first time with a baby, I always bring them a bag full of meals that I've prepped for their freezers. It might be like a load of lasagnas or cottage pies, or I think one of my sisters did a massive roll of cookie dough, so she could just slice up and make a biscuit for herself in the oven every time she wanted it, and like a couple of boxes of tea and biscuits and things. Because even before we had, so I was just aware that actually, sorry, I'm just not aware not to name it. It's just when I'm in the conversation, it's difficult.
So we're just going to use a name. Okay.
And whether, when you're tired, even though when you're not tired from like a baby, just in general, when you're overwhelmed, this is at work or whatever it is, the last thing you want us to think about is cooking yourself food. And that's actually when you need to be sustained. You need a good meal.
Yeah.
So that's my advice for people. If you're going over, bring a dinner for them and run the Hoover around.
Yeah.
And, if you've got friends like me, he's going to say, no, just fucking ignore them.
Yeah, do a job that you slyly do and you don't need that much input for.
Yeah, like my mum's sly sometimes when she comes around. Like she'll come around and I'll go do something for whatever reason. I can't remember. I popped the shop, so I've gone upstairs to, I don't know, have a pill or something. I've gone upstairs and she's cleaned my kitchen for me, or she's done the dishwasher, even when I said don't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm always eternally grateful for that.
Yeah.
Because she knows I'm not very good at accepting it as well. Because she's the same.
Well, I do think there are many British people that will be like, yes, clean my house mid-chairs, bye.
Yeah.
So think of jobs to do without much direction. Like you can probably empty and reload the dish. You might just not be able to put everything in the right place.
It's not hard.
Yeah, but even if you can't, at least you've restacked it, and I've now only got to put away a quarter of the things because you couldn't find a few items or whatever.
Yeah, and like when you're on your way over, be like, can I get anything from the shop for you? Like, do you need a pint of milk or some juice or bread or whatever it is?
Yeah.
But I do get why people are nervous about it. It's also, not everyone's actually bothered by babies. They're just a bit awkward because they don't really know what to do with babies because they're sort of like, don't really like babies. They don't really know what to do in the situation. It's not something they can connect on or understand.
But for me, it's not about. It's about the person that I care about.
Yeah, it is. But I think
it's an important moment to them, and so I want to be there for them.
Yeah, I agree, and that's very much how I am. But not everyone is like that. Not everyone understands things in the same way as that. They can be like, I really love this person, but right now they're not quite the same person. I don't know what to give them.
I think if you care about the person, they've just had something new that's happened that they really care about. And if they also care about you, they therefore want to share that with you. So even if you don't get it, even if you don't enjoy it, or even if it's not your kind of thing, just go with the intention of learning what it is that they now like. If someone's your friend, you want to understand their passions and the thing. Like I have friends that I talk about things that I really don't care about, and I will entertain it for a brief amount of period. I feel like it's the same thing where you want to go round, you want to share in this person's new, what is effectively a huge part of their life. So even if you don't like babies or you don't understand what to do with it,
I think that it's quite a lot of self-awareness.
Yeah, I guess.
And also they've all got their own lives as well, their own stresses and their own things going on. They might have stuff that's, before we know, like the shit could have really hit the fan in their life, just as Bubs was born. And they're trying to deal with their shit, and so it's not going to be top of their priority, even though they can really care and love you. It's because it's really important to us. Just as, they could just like it's something really big and important happening to them that maybe it's a positive, maybe it's a negative.
Yeah, I do try and remember that.
I can't actually see my nipples, so I'm just trying to shut my nipples.
She's roughly on it.
She's fanning about some. She's fanning out the nipple.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, back on the nip. Moonbeam's feeding away. So yeah, I guess to recap, always ask the person, there's no harm in asking. you ask, make sure you do give them away so they know if they need to.
Yeah.
And around the can be new parenthood quite isolated. So make sure you have time to connect with that's quite important.
Yeah.
And then also slightly try and get away doing a job for them.
Yeah, I think if you're someone who is about to have a baby or in that process, that I think as far as possible, and it's hard, you don't know how you're going to feel after a baby's born because especially it's your first, you've never gone through it before. But I think as far as possible, if you can, maybe say to your friends beforehand how you want to be supported. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Someone who's gone through something before and you go, actually, you know, when I'm really tired or I'm stressed or I'm overwhelmed, this is actually what I need. Like, I'm someone who needs to be left alone, or I'm someone who needs to have that sort of just a little bit of text contact or phone calls, whatever it is. And you don't have to change your mind because the baby's born if that's not how you feel.
Yeah.
But you know what? Pops is on the way. Afterwards, can you give me a couple of days to acclimatise? Please reach out and I'll let you know when I'm ready to see you. Or
Oh yeah, like that first week, probably not going to want to see that many people. But again, it's their own.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
just unlikely that in that first week.
I think
everyone
there's
wants-
nothing wrong with sort of putting that groundwork down. Just like, you know, we try in a relationship to be like, you know, these things are probably going to change and, you know, being prepared for that. Your relationship with your friends is going to change. All your relationships are going to change because suddenly the most important thing in your world has changed.
Yeah.
Whereas before, you were the most important thing in your life, or your partner was the most important thing in your life. You now have a tiny human to look after who is the centre of your world. And I think also being like to your friends, just letting them know, because they probably have realised, but there's nothing wrong with telling someone something they already know. It's being like, actually, I'm probably going to be a shit friend for a couple of months because I'm not going to have much space left in my, you know, brain, love, or heart, whatever, to give to you. Because I'm going to be so overwhelmed, busy, and learning and tiny and tired that I'm sorry if I don't touch base with you for a couple of months. Please, if something is important or you need my support, do contact me. Because I know I've had friends who've been things the past few months and I'm like, oh, I didn't know you've gone through that because they've not wanted to bother me.
Yeah.
Which I totally get and appreciate. Actually, I still want to be there for my friends, but I might just not have the capacity to ask them if they're okay as much at the moment. But I still care if they're not okay. They still want to be there, and I would still drop everything to go support them if they needed me. If my friend needed me to go stay with them for a couple of days, I would go there. I would bring stay with me if that's what they need. You know, I still want to be the friend, but I just might not necessarily ask them as much at the moment. So I think that's friends as well. Because you don't want to lose your goodness. And like all relationships, it takes work.
Yeah.
It isn't so your friends suddenly understand it instantly. Change in the relationship. But you've had friends that you've had to sort of have communications with, haven't you, over the past few months? Where they've not given you what you wanted to give you, or they didn't understand what you wanted.
Yeah.
And that's just a learning curve.
Yeah, I think like the first person to come around was Nick, and he you know, while he hasn't had his own kid, his sister had, and so he's very understanding of what it's like. So he did just want to come around, see the baby, check on me, you know, and I think he did ask, you know, if there was anything to do with stuff like that.
Mm.
I think that's the right way to do that, and just give people an opportunity to say no. But as a friend, definitely try and, if you're the person having a baby, reach out to your friends and say that I'd like, these are my new expectations almost of friendship. And if it's the other way and your friend has just had a baby, reach out and sort of say, I know this is an incredibly new time for you, and you know, things are changing all the time. You know, if there's what you need, how you want me best be your friend now.
And also, I think you're asking the person who's had the baby, don't ask too much of them. Like, I think even that might be too much. Be like, this is what I was thinking of doing. Is that okay? Rather than going, what would you want? Because you might not have the brain power to think about what you want. You might be like, if I come over next week for an hour, would that suit you? And there's just yes or no on them. Because that might be all they can give you. Because they're in a really tough time. We had it fairly easy. You know, had a bit of issues with feeding and stuff, and there's the standard things of acclimatizing to not much sleep and stuff. But actually, we had a pretty good time. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Whereas some people have a really rough time at the beginning and they really struggle. And so they might not be able to answer that question of what they need from you.
Yeah.
So I think going, this is what I think you might need, or this is what I'd like to give. Is that okay? They might go, no. That's fine.
No.
Oh, actually, they're really nice. But they might go, do you know what, actually, could you come over first thing in the morning? Because actually, that's when my baby's easiest. And I could probably give you an hour or so then. Whereas later on in the day, you know, she's fussier and I'm just going to be all over the place. I'm not going to want someone there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We thought that was an important thing to discuss. So I don't think you think about that necessarily before.
No, you definitely don't. But I kind of, I figured that I would just have, it would be the same, but I'd have a baby there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not really.
No, there'll be times where it is. Like yesterday, I went to see one of my closest friends, and that was sort of the first time I'd left. I'd been without Zola, really, rather than going to the gym. It was the longest time I've been away from her.
Yeah.
She was born, because I sort of said to my friends, we said we wanted to meet up before she goes for Christmas. And I was like, well, would you like me to bring Zola? Would you like it just be me? Because I'm also aware that once you have a baby, you kind of always want to bring the baby, and actually, the parents might not want that. They might want some time with you alone, and that's well.
Yeah, that's quite important, because otherwise, like, it's the same with just when I take Fatty, our dog, anywhere. I know that it's my job to manage that.
Mhm.
That is my responsibility. And so there will always be some element of my capacity focusing on, are they behaving in a way, is good. And obviously with a baby, it's like tenfold, because it's about sleeping, it's about crying. Do I need to change a nappy? Do I need to try and feed it? Do I need to? And all these things are obviously going to completely change, like, how much capacity you then have to your person that you're with.
Yeah. So my friend was like, actually, I'd really love to see you both have some one-on-one time. I was like, absolutely fine. Because if you're wanting to get proper catch up, you can't do that with the baby there. Like you said, you're not going to be able to concentrate and give your friend the attention they deserve. And it's not that they don't want to see your child or don't care. It's just that's different. It's a different experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
So with you and I went in, we had a lovely coffee and a catch up, and that was really, really nice. And I really enjoyed it. And then I had to leave because our boobs were getting really sore. I needed to feed her. But we had a good few hours chatting, and it was lovely.
You still want to sort your pump out, don't you? And that way you can spend longer and you can just pump.
Yeah. And so I think that's important to remember as well, that not everyone's going to care. Well, that's not true. It's not that they're not going to care. It's that you shouldn't expect that everyone's going to want to, have their baby with you. So that they don't want you as a package the whole time.
Yeah.
You're still your person before you had the baby.
Yeah. And I think some people, people can easily forget. People kind of, I think that goes both ways. Sometimes your friends can kind of view you as somebody who's changed or won't want to do these things because you've now had the baby or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But at the same time, you kind of need to remember that your friends may also still want that element of you, if that makes sense, because like I say, you're not going to be able to have a conversation or whatever if you're keeping your eye on the baby all the time. Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's lots of things you forget to consider before having a baby. Well, not forget, I guess, you're just not aware.
Yeah.
Okay, now for a quick word from our sponsors. Ha! No, am I kidding? We don't have any sponsors. But if you were to leave us some 5-star reviews and maybe some lovely words, we might do. Fuck me, that was desperate.
Oh, so highs, lows, and funnies.
Highs, lows, funnies. Let's see. There's been quite a lot of highs. It's been quite a nice week. Like I say that every week, so maybe that's really irritating for people to hear. Oh, last night was lovely. We had a lovely bath last night. So Zoe a little bit of a explosive sick, didn't she?
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, we better whack her in the bath. So me and her had a nice little bath. I mean, she's got this light thing that my mum bought her, which projects sort of light shapes out onto the ceiling, and it spins, they sort of move, and she absolutely loves that. She loves lights so much, and so she's really enjoying all the Christmas lights. And so we turned off the light in the bathroom, just projecting and moving, and her in the water with me, and she was having an absolutely lovely time. When you were pouring warm water over her, which she enjoys.
Yeah, she definitely likes. But the problem with a bath is we can't
fit in it with her and submerge her.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be some part of her that's out of the bath. And then that part is obviously feel really cold. So you have to always pour.
She did her first little hair wash, a bit of baby shampoo. She liked to get scalp massaged. So that was lovely. What about you? What was your high of the week?
My high of the week. I actually quite enjoyed our little trip out on Friday where we went to all the different places.
Oh, Costco and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite nice to just be going around and do it.
Or just normal stuff.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Family like.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
I'm sure in a few years' time I'll disagree with that. We're fucking awful because they just scream at wine and stuff. Buy me that 4,000 4K TV, please, Daddy.
When I was never like that when I was a kid. I don't think you were either.
Very young, get the nose, build up strong momentum on the nose.
I get the nose in as in like, in the
No.
nose, face nose. And I was like, I don't understand this expression.
No,
But okay, I'll let you carry on.
the nose, just saying no.
Yeah. And they do have massive TVs in Costco. They're ludicrously large.
Yeah, and you just look, it just looks outrageous.
I think our child's more likely to be like, can I have that massive chicken?
And I'm more likely to be like, only if you share it with Daddy.
Can I have that tray of cake? Yeah, all right. Have that bag of avocados? Sure. Mum was proud.
That's my girl.
Okay, well, that's nice. That's unexpected. Okay, what's your low being? Let's bring it back down to earth.
Think of one.
I don't have any particular
I
low.
do this another week, and I didn't have
I
a load
wasn't
this
going
week.
to. Let me carry on. All right. So it wasn't like a proper low, but it was like for a time. On Thursday, after I got to see Jess and Maisie, the thing, and like Zoe had been sick a few times.
Yeah.
I just pooed a lot more, and they got a bit green. And I was just like, "Oh, I think she's okay, but I'm not sure." And obviously, you know that babies can go bad quite quickly, especially with dehydration. I was slightly worried, so we called up 111, and they were sort of like, "Okay, try and go see a doctor in the next 12 hours." And so we took her in, and it was all fine. It turns out that before we were giving her baby Gaviscon for her reflux once a day, and we didn't realise that baby Gaviscon constipates them slightly. So she's only really been coming once a day for however long, and we thought, oh, she's just a 1 poo a day a baby.
Yeah.
That's fine. And obviously that we stopped taking that because it finished. And so since then she has been a little bit sick more often, not crazy amounts, never excessively, but just because we weren't used to it, it seems like suddenly she was being sick more. And then also because we started taking her Gaviscon, she was suddenly pooing more, and it was a bit green, which turns out was just because she wasn't getting like the hind milk, so the fatty milk at the end of the feed. Because I'd been told between my boobs, she wasn't getting the end milk. And so nothing was wrong. It was just sort of a combination of things that made it seem like something was. And so obviously, you can tell these GPs, bless him, he was really nice, but obviously they must get really annoyed at first parents being like, "That's not wrong." It's like, she's absolutely fine. Basically, she just went from slightly constipated to not being constipated. So now she poos more.
Yeah.
And she's just going to be a bit because she's not on reflux medication. You know, they're saying we don't advise giving that because it does cause constipation, which can increase the chance of colic. It's not actually solving the reflux.
Yeah, because all it does is it actually just, reflux to a degree he was saying is natural.
And form
something. The thing that stops it from happening, whatever part in the body it is. And so what actually Gaviscon is a coagulant, and all it does is just thicken up the milk once it hits the belly. And so it makes it harder for them to vomit it out, so they're less likely to.
Also harder to poo out.
Yeah, so they end up being constipated. It was nice having your own day baby, though. I will say that. You just had one absolutely massive shit.
Really want her.
Just one massive shit. And filling nappies, sometimes come out the back of a nappy so full. But then you're like, that's that one done for the day. Don't have to worry about poo, it's all we from here.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you get lots of little nuggets where you're just like, well, that was pointless.
I would say it's generally not more than 3.
Well, definitely not more than 3 proper poos, but sometimes you'll end up with just a little nugget in it. Yeah.
So it's just a bit of a forceful fart and it's come out. She likes a good shot.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of my low this week. So it's not like an awful low, but there's a point where I was a little bit worried, and your brain goes into meltdown or overload or over worry sometimes. So I was driving her back and I was, wait, you were calling 111 because I was driving.
Yeah, I think this
And
is.
obviously I can't hear her. She's in the back. And suddenly I'm like, oh God, is she choked on vomit? Is she dead? And then your brain just goes into the worst scenario instantly. And I'm going, no, you're okay. No. Trying to look back to see if her foot's moving. She's absolutely fine. She was just asleep. Yeah.
I think that was probably my though as well, but for different reasons. I'd had my Christmas party that Wednesday night, and so I was very much in the mindset of she's fine. We don't need to do anything. And then you just came in with kind of panicked energy, and I was like, hey, no more kind of feeling rough or feeling sleepy. You just kind of want to try and get on. And then 111 hung up on me like 3-4 times while I was trying to do. Was it the hospital? Yeah, 111. I think I was just so between the fact that I was there trying to match your energy, well, not match your energy, but cater to.
Yeah.
When I really couldn't fucked and knew I didn't really actually need to. And then 111 just being shithead. I nearly just often told you to calm down. That's not going to help.
No, and like also, I was fairly sure she was fine, but I was like, it's just not worth the risk.
No, and that's kind of why I got on board, because it's like at the end of the day, it's an hour out of my day where I'm not really doing that much. Well, 2 hours out of my day, not really doing that much because I'm, hanging a bit at Christmas party.
Yeah,
but it's not worth it wrong.
Yeah, and that's just how I always feel with her. But with you and me, I'm like, fuck it, we're fine. But with her, I'm just like, oh, you'd never forgive yourself or something. And so I'm pretty sure it's fine. Just gonna check it.
Yeah.
Okay, so those were our lows.
Funny.
My family. So quite a few explosive poos this week. That's more sketchy. Funny. I did quite enjoy her reaction when we were at the panto.
Yeah.
Because every time there was a loud noise or a clap, she'd sort of do her little stuff. She sort of spreads her limbs out on her hand.
Oh, yeah.
And so even when she had like the ear defences on, you still hear through them, which is it. She noticed there's a change in volume. So she goes, wow, and she sort of shrink back in again. And another clap, which is quite funny. And at one point she's on my lap. This woman was like, oh, what a cute baby, that during intermission. How old is she? And I was like, oh, she's 2 months. And just looking at her, she sort of went, oh, how are you? And so I just sat there and rolled her eyes. She obviously wasn't wasn't actually rolling her eyes, but it was very good timing. So I enjoyed that.
So mine was actually even earlier this morning or tonight. So I was there lying in bed, and I was there, and I saw a sexy dream, and I was like, oh, wasn't sure if it was real or not, and then got woken up to, she's done a huge poo, changed her nappy. So, well, it's definitely not real. This sexy dream is definitely not real.
Crash down reality. Is that why you started talking about sex instantly?
What, this morning? Okay, go on, roll on. Noises. Okay, so here we have one from the internet. When my daughter was about 4 months old, she had to come to a business brunch with me. It wasn't super formal, but still a business meeting. She was sitting in a car seat on the table, and the client I was meeting with started to wrinkle up his face. Then I spelled why. I look over, and there was poop coming out of the bottom of the car seat. I quickly excused it and carried the car seat into the bathroom, which was about 2 feet away from our table. It was then that I realised I did not have wipes, and I did not have a change of clothes. Luckily, I did have a diaper. For the next 20 minutes, while my daughter screamed at the top of her lungs, I used wet paper towel to try and clean her up. Her outfit went into the trash so bad. For 20 minutes, no one knocked. Whoa, that's a good sound. Thank you. Yeah, you go. Fantastic. Sorry, for the next 20 minutes, while my daughter screamed at the top of her lungs, I used wet paper towels to try and clean her up. Her outfit went into the trash so bad. For 20 minutes, no one knocked on the door of the restroom. There was only one in this crowded restaurant. When I got back to the table with a baby clad only in a diaper and a car seat that had no lining, my client was in stitches. He said that he kept watching women go up to the bathroom and start to try the handle, look horrified when they heard the screaming, and run back to their tables. Now, Even if I don't have my baby with me, I have wipes and a change of clothes in my pocket book. Never again. Can you imagine that?
I can absolutely imagine that.
Like shit out of the car seat.
Yeah,
That's savage.
that is savage. I don't think be savage like that, you?
Like we've had it go into the car seat,
Yeah, we have, yeah.
but not so bad that it then goes out the other side of it.
But yeah, not yet.
Out the bottom of it.
You're saving that up for us.
Oh, well, let's call that okay then.
Yeah, let's go clean up that bum.
Yeah, I've dropped them up. Shorten.
You're a scat. Yeah?
Yeah, like a meerkat.
She often does, doesn't she? Little surprise face.
Yeah. No, we should move the head around. Right.
Yeah. They're excellent neck control.
Bye-bye, people.
Yeah.
Just wait 1 moment.
Hi, guys. Thank you very much for listening. We really appreciate it. And if you're enjoying it, please let us know by leaving a review or sending us some feedback. The email is blabberingpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your stories, any feedback, any news, any thoughts. Also, you can find us on Instagram. The handle is blabberingpod. We're active on there as well, so you could DM us. And yeah, if you've got 5 seconds, please leave a rating. If you've got a bit more, please leave a review. The words are very helpful. And give us a follow.